Let's jump right into this explainer. We are looking at a massive, and I mean absolutely massive, wave of changes hitting North Carolina drivers in 2026. From your license plate to your digital wallet, the entire way we handle our cars is getting a total reboot. Think about it for a second. We all know that incredibly annoying feeling, right? Standing behind your car, maybe with a key or a scraper, trying to peel off that tiny, sun-baked, faded registration sticker just so you can slap a brand new one over the sticky mess? Well, what if I told you those days are officially over? Yup, thanks to recent legislative changes, the physical registration card and that colorful little plate sticker are being phased out completely. The analog era of North Carolina driving is officially wrapping up, making way for a much more streamlined process. Which brings us to our first major shift, the digital driving revolution. This modernization is rolling out incredibly fast. In late 2025, regulatory rollbacks kick off with window tint checks. Then, fast forward to July 2026, and mobile driver's licenses, or MDLs, become mandatory for the DMV to provide. And the big one, in October 2026, a fully digital registration system officially replaces your physical sticker. Basically, we are shedding the paper registration cards and that physical plastic. In return, we're gaining a fully digital identity. Your mobile ID won't just be a neat party trick to show a bouncer. By law, it satisfies everything from in-person voting to police stops. Actually, law enforcement is already undergoing specific training to interact with these exact new digital wallets. So, why the big change now? Marty Homan over at the NCDOT hit the nail on the head. He points out that law enforcement technology has simply outpaced the need for those little stickers. Automated license plate readers in police cruisers can just scan your plate and check the digital database instantly. But quick reality check here, going digital doesn't mean you can skip paying your renewal fees. Oh no, fines absolutely still apply if you let it expire. Okay, moving right along to the emissions test shakeup. Pending final EPA approval, the newly signed state budget effectively eliminates the emissions testing requirement for 18 counties. So if you live in Wake, Drum, or Johnston counties, you're officially off the hook. This leaves only Mecklenburg County with the emissions mandate, joining the other 81 counties across the state that were already exempt. You might be wondering, what's driving this massive exemption? Well, state regulators point out that modern vehicles are just vastly cleaner than they used to be, and the data absolutely backs this up. North Carolina has successfully met federal ozone pollution standards for the past 10 years straight. Now, it's super important to look at both sides of this debate. The state and the EPA see this as a huge win for reducing bureaucratic red tape, saving drivers time, and acknowledging those cleaner car standards. On the flip side, environmental advocates are warning that booming population growth in areas like the Triangle means a lot more cars on the road. They caution this could still trigger a rise in ozone and smog if the testing stops. That said, let's talk about what still gets tested. Because even without the emissions check, your mechanic will still be putting your car on the lift. Safety inspections remain mandatory statewide. They're going to verify you have at least 2/32 of an inch of tire tread, check all your lights, test your steering and suspension for excessive play, and make sure there are absolutely no exhaust or fuel leaks. So safety is clearly still a massive priority here. But here is a fun surprise for anyone who loves modifying their car. Mechanics will no longer check your window tint during that safety inspection. And even better, they won't charge you the extra $10 fee for it either. Mechanics might miss that easy $10, but drivers certainly won't complain. There is a catch, though. The proactive inspection is gone, but the tint limits absolutely still apply on the road. Under the new law, if you get pulled over, you are legally required to immediately roll down your tinted window on whichever side the officer approaches. Think of it as a safety trade-off, replacing the old inspection mandate. All right, let's get down to the bottom line, the cost to drive. Let's look at the big picture first. Dropping that emissions test isn't just about saving you a Tuesday afternoon. It will save North Carolina drivers a collective $20 million every single year. That is a massive chunk of change going right back into the local economy instead of administrative fees. And what does that mean for your own wallet? Well, if you're a driver in one of those 18 affected counties, your annual mechanic bill drops by more than half. You'll go from paying $30 for a combined test down to just $13.60 for the standard safety inspection alone. However, if you drive an electric vehicle, your costs look a little different.
To offset the gas taxes that EV drivers aren't paying at the pump, the state enforces an additional flat annual fee. It's $107.25 for a plug-in hybrid and a pretty steep $214.50 every single year for a fully electric vehicle. Essentially, the state is making sure road maintenance still gets funded, regardless of what's under your hood.
With mobile IDs sitting right on our smartphones, invisible digital registrations tracked by scanners, and streamlined mechanical inspections, the analog era of driving is unequivocally over. Which really leaves us to wonder, as this technology seamlessly integrates into our daily drive, what other bureaucratic staples will soon disappear completely into cyberspace?